real quick. The first one, I'm going to draw a really weird brain right here. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. That looks like a SpongeBob character. I don't know what I'm doing here, but we're going to call it a brain. Here's a brain stem, a medulla, and here's a big cortex right here. In the front part of your brain, you have something called the PFC, prefrontal cortex, okay? And that's what makes us humans. That's what makes us different from all those other animals out there in the animal kingdom. Other animals don't have a prefrontal cortex like we do. This is what makes us smart. This is what gives us ability to do compare and contrast, inductive and deductive reasoning, plan ahead. Humans are one of the only animals that have the ability to plan ahead long term. There's some like chimps and bonobos that have a little bit of ability, but we are by far the smartest ones that comes to planning ahead. That's all controlled by the prefrontal cortex. So that's a good thing. That helps us, all right? That's what's made us human. That's what's got us to this point, okay? And then right here in the middle, in your midbrain, you got the limbic system. We've probably already heard that, and I'm not going to go too deep into that. I'm not going to break out all the components. Your limbic system isn't just one organ in your brain. It's made up of a couple of different things. That's why it's a system. I can't like cut out the limbic system and hand it to you because it's impossible, and that'd be like really weird if I did that. But your limbic system is the one that controls kind of rage, aggression, your reaction to things. Think of this kind of like you touch a hot stove, you get a pain response, and you pull back. It's made up of the hippocampus, the amygdala, and a few other organs. And that controls the fear, rage, aggression, like you're seeing up there on the thing. So in times of stress, the prefrontal cortex shuts down and the limbic system tend to kick in, okay? Hopefully that's what happens. Here's the problem with our front part of our brain that's really smart. Society's a lot much more polite nowadays, is it not? Okay. There was a time where we were running around looking at anything as a threat. Anything that moved could kill us back in the day. Okay. So we had developed these survival mechanisms to stay alive. All right. And the cool thing is it's much more polite nowadays. We don't rely on those, not nearly as much as we did, but they still have application in our everyday. All right. Because what happens when the times have got polite and you're not using that fear muscle, these limbic system, the PFC, in times of stress, it's like a muscle. Just like you work out, you do CrossFit, you get those muscles bigger. Your brain needs to be exercised to respond in a time of stress. And with the limbic system and the smart part of the brain, the smart part of the brain can get us in trouble. Because what happens is we get into what's called paralysis by analysis. What happens is we try to take in too much information. We're trying to do critical thinking in times of stress, okay? Critical thinking has a time and a place. That's when you have safety, time, distance to think about things, analyze them, weigh them against each other, okay? When bullets are flying or bad things are happening or you're getting robbed or something, violence happening, that's not the time for the prefrontal cortex and critical thinking, not the time. That is the time for intuitive decision making. You have to go with your gut and make a decision right now. That's the type of decision making you need to activate in a violent situation. There's all these, everybody's out there showing their gun skills and the rifle skills, martial arts, and that's great. But, everyone's walking around with a gun, without a proper mindset, not understanding these basics, okay? And this could save a life or get you killed if you operate in a bad manner, all right? This can affect your decision making. So we don't want to do critical thinking in times of stress because you run into paralysis by analysis, trying to take in too much information at too much of time. I'm going to give you a quote right here.